Dear Global Pioneer family and all friends who care about the future of Pi Network. Hello everyone, today is January of 2026. The bells of the new year have just faded, and the warmth of the holidays still lingers in the air of Silicon Valley. At this moment, I am sitting in the Pi Network recording studio located in Silicon Valley. It is very quiet around me, with only the slight whirring sound of the cameras. There is no sound of rain from the Stanford campus here, nor the hustle and bustle of a cafe. This absolute silence allows me to hear my inner voice more clearly and focus more on this conversation with you. In this moment of bidding farewell to the old and welcoming the new, my private inbox is stuffed with all kinds of blessings, but even more so, with all kinds of anxiety. Someone asked, Dr. Fan, Happy New Year. Will Pi rise to $100 this year? Someone asked, Dr. Fan, I see the candlestick charts on exchanges vibrating recently. Are whales selling? I am so panicked. Someone even sent a screenshot of the market, full of red and green, asking me, what do you think of today's drop? Are you not worried? Looking at these questions filled with numbers, percentages, and fluctuations, I often fall into a long silence. I know everyone cares about the price, because that is the wealth displayed in your accounts. It is your hope for supporting your families. This concern is human nature. However, today, at the beginning of this new year, in Silicon Valley, a place that has witnessed countless miracles and bubbles, I want to tell everyone very honestly, perhaps even surprisingly to some. As a co-founder, Chongyao Fan, almost never look at the coin price. Even when the mainnet just opened last year and prices fluctuated violently, even when the whole internet was frantically discussing Pi's market cap, I did not even have any market ticker apps installed on my phone. Why? Is it because I don't care about your assets? Is it because I am already financially free, so I stand aloof? Absolutely not. I don't look at the price because I know that staring at the scoreboard won't win the ballgame. Today, I want to move my gaze away from that jumping price figure and take everyone to see something different. I want to tell you, at the starting point of 2026, as the helmsman of this massive ecosystem, what am I looking at? And what do I hope you will look at? First, let us conduct an anthropological thought experiment. Suppose you are a farmer and you planted a magical seed in the spring. This seed is called Pi. During the process of its germination, growth, and blooming, if you dig it out of the soil every 5 minutes to measure how much taller it has grown, weigh how much heavier it has become, and then ask the market at the village entrance based on this weight. Look at my seedling. How much is it worth today? If the people at the village entrance say, it is worth $10 today, you dance with joy. If the next day people say, oh, no one likes saplings today, it is only worth $5, you are so anxious, you can't sleep, and even want to burn it as firewood. May I ask, can this tree still grow up? It would have died long ago from your tossing and turning. The current cryptocurrency market is that noisy village market. It is full of emotions, full of speculation, and full of passersby with no patience. The price on the exchange, that figure of a fraction of a dollar or a few dollars, does not reflect the true value of Pi. It reflects the supply and demand game of, at this moment, how many people are anxious to sell and how many are anxious to buy. It reflects the interest rates of the Federal Reserve, the situation in the Middle East, the face of Bitcoin, and even a tweet from a big influencer. The only thing it cannot reflect is the vitality of the Pi network itself. I have seen too many project teams whose founders stare at the coin price every day. When the price falls, they rush to release good news, hire shills, and pump the market. When the price rises, they rush to cash out, celebrate, and even become arrogant. Their heartbeats beat along with the candlestick charts. The result? They have no mind to patch vulnerabilities, no patience to polish products, and no time to listen to the voices of users. In the end, these projects become duckweed drifting with the waves. Once the wind stops, they sink. I don't look at the coin price because I don't want to be that impatient farmer. I know that Pi is a sequoia tree. The value of a sequoia lies not in how much it can be sold for when it is a sapling, but in its ability to grow into a towering tree 10 years, 100 years later, to become timber, and to provide oxygen for this forest. Price is the dance of shadows. It is short and long, illusory, and unpredictable. What I care about is the growth of the entity. If I don't look at the price, what am I looking at staring at the screen every day? As the chief scientist of Pi Network, there is a special dashboard on my computer screen. There are no candlesticks on this dashboard, Only some data that might seem boring to you but are incredibly sexy in my eyes. I am looking at active wallet count, not the registered count, but the active count. I am looking at how many people open their Pi wallet every day and make a real transfer. By the end of 2025, this number had broken through millions. What does this mean? It means Pi is no longer points lying in an account. It has become flowing blood. Every transfer is a transmission of trust, a confirmation of value. The growth curve of this data is 10,000 times more important than the price curve. I am looking at ecosystem app retention rate. I am watching on StarMax how many users bought coffee this month and will come back to buy next month. I am watching in Blind Lounge what is the average duration of user stay. If everyone just comes to play once out of curiosity and leaves, then Pi is a failure. But the data tells me that our retention rate is rising steadily. This shows that Pi's ecosystem apps have truly solved problems and brought happiness and convenience to users. I am looking at the count of KYB verified merchants. This is the metric I focus on most in 2026. How many real enterprises have passed KYB verification? How many offline shops have put up the Pi payment accepted sticker? Every merchant that passes KYB is a pile driven by the Pi network into this physical world. The more piles driven, the more stable our foundation. When millions of merchants globally access the network, the price of Pi cannot fall even if it wants to, because there is rigid commercial demand supporting it. I am looking at the health of the technical network. What is the uptime rate of 100,000 nodes? What is the latency of block generation? How is the network's pressure resistance when under attack? This is our lifeline. Dear pioneers, these data are the true body temperature of Pi. As long as these data are growing, as long as the network is getting bigger, as long as the apps are getting better, then external price fluctuations are just noise. Prices can lie, but the prosperity of the ecosystem will not. In business management, there is a famous theory, time teller versus clock builder. The time teller is the person who tells you what time it is now. They stare at the current moment and predict the weather for the next second. In this industry, that is the role of analysts and speculators. The clock builder is the person dedicated to building a precise, complex system that can run accurately on its own for long years in the future. Nicholas and I, we want to be clock builders. We spent 7 years building the KYC system. We built the SEP consensus mechanism. We built the KYB commercial system. We built the MiCA compliance framework. We are manufacturing a precision clock named Pi Network. If I stared at the price every day, I would become a time teller. I would modify the gears of the clock, push the hour hand forward, and destroy the stability of the system, just to cater to the market's emotions. In 2026, we face greater temptations and pressures than ever before. An external bull market might come, and various air coins might fly around. If I looked at the price, I might waver. Should we also issue a meme coin to ride the wave? Should we also organize a staking pump event? No, because I don't look at the price, I can maintain strategic patience. I know that regardless of whether the outside is a bull market or a bear market, the task of 2026 is only one: deep plowing. We want to promote KYB to the world. We want to make DeFi apps like Gargoyle a benchmark. We want to make Pi compliant in more countries. Only this kind of stability, not kidnapped by price, can lead these 19 million pioneers through the bull and bear cycles to reach the shore of $1 trillion market cap. Today, I have a sincere suggestion, or rather a request, for everyone. If you feel anxious because of staring at the coin price, if your mood is affected by the rise and fall of your account, or even if it affects your family harmony, then please take out your phone and delete those market ticker apps, even if only for 1 month. Try to do the following things. First, go to experience, not to calculate. Don't calculate how many US dollars the 1,000 Pi in your hand is worth. Try to go to the Pi browser, find a game to play. Try to find if there are shops near your home on StarMax. Go feel the joy of using Pi rather than the anxiety of owning Pi. You will find that the moment you spend Pi as currency, its value is the most real. Second, go to build, not to wait. If you have the ability, go write a line of code for the Pi ecosystem, draw a poster, or just help a newcomer answer a KYC question in the community. When you get busy, when you feel that you are adding bricks and tiles to this great building, you will find that price fluctuations are no longer important to you. Because you are the owner, you control its future. Third, go to live, go to love. Pi is to make our lives better, not to hijack our lives. Work hard, eat well, accompany your family. Hide Pi's passphrase well. Treat it as a gift to the future. An Easter egg, believe me. When you forget the price and live earnestly for 3 years, 5 years, and then look back, that number will definitely give you a huge surprise. Finally, I want to return to the original intention. In 2019, when we wrote the white paper at Stanford, the price of pi was 0. At that time, why were we so excited? Why could we stay up late in that shabby office? Not because we calculated how much it would be worth in the future, but because we believed we were doing the right thing. We believed that ordinary people should possess financial rights. We believed that technology should be warm. We believed that through the connection between people, we can create a currency fairer than the US dollar. Over these 7 years, what has supported me to go on has never been the price, but belief. It is that 60-year-old Korean lady still running a node. It is that student of Nicholas who exchanged pi for his first computer. It is every one of you pioneers who still light up the lightning in the wind and rain. 2026 has just begun. This is destined to be a magnificent year. Prices will fluctuate, and the market will have noise. But I promise you, no matter if the price falls to the bottom or rises to the clouds, I will not look at it once. I will always stare at our roadmap, stare at our ecosystem data, stare at our promise to users. I will always be here, being the clock builder, being the tree planter, until Pi Network becomes the most lush forest and the most precise clock on this planet. Please turn off the ticker and open your vision. The future is not in the candlestick charts, but in the hands of every one of us. Thank you, everyone.